Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to this video where I'm gonna show you my tips for framing and creating great compositions. My greatest strength in filmmaking that helps my videos to stand out and look professional is how I do my framing and create great compositions. I'm always mindful of where I place my subjects in the frame, and to help me with that, I normally use the rule of thirds. The rule of thirds is a framing guideline that breaks an image into thirds, both vertical and horizontally. Most DSLR cameras have got these lines. By placing or positioning my key elements or subject on one of these lines helps my videos look cinematic and professional. When I'm working with people, I make sure I put them on one of the vertical lines depending on which direction they are looking. If they are looking to the left, I place them on the right vertical line, and if they are looking to the right, I place them on the left vertical line. The idea is to give them a viewing direction. But if they are looking straight into the camera like this talking head of myself, I frame them right on the center. When I'm working with landscapes, I always make sure to put the horizon on one of the horizontal lines depending on what I want the people to see. If I want them to see more of the sky, I put the horizon on the bottom third, and if I want them to see more of the land, I put the horizon on the top third. Another creative technique that I use to make sure that my compositions stand out is using leading lines. I use things like bridges, roads, or structures that have got natural lines to direct or guide my viewers to the subject or center of the subject. When I find symmetrical lines, I frame my subject right on the center to create symmetry, which is another way of creating great compositions. If you look at my background, there are 6 LED lights, 3 on each side, and I have framed myself right on the middle to create symmetry. Symmetry helps to create depth in your composition. And depth is another tip that I use to create great compositions. It's not only leading lines or symmetry that you can use to create depth. You can also use foregrounds to create depth in your composition. This is very common in my videos, especially when I'm trying to review my subjects. On the other hand, I always make sure to balance my compositions. In this clip, I put the bed lamp to just balance the composition. I don't like leaving empty spaces in my compositions, which leads me to another tip, which is filling your frame with a dominant subject, something you want people to focus on. In this composition, this lady is holding a phone. Right now, people are focused on the lady, but if I want them to focus on the phone, what I do is to zoom the phone, make it fill the frame, and shoot at a lower aperture like f2 so that only the phone is in focus. I use focus to direct people where to look at, and focus is one way of creating depth in your image. If I'm shooting at high aperture like f22 where everything is in focus, I always make sure only the dominant subject fills the frame. In this case, I'm doing a real estate video for this building, but this other building also appears in the frame. So what I do is to crop out what is not supposed to be there. You can see even here the same thing, so that only the dominant subject fills the frames. Anyways, this was just a summary of how to properly frame your videos and create great compositions. Details are in the main course. If you haven't bought it already, WhatsApp this number and I'll get you a copy today. But if you have purchased the course already, then I'll see you in the next video. This is it. Peace.